Eat 3 meals a day, they said. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day, they said. Well, what they didn't say, you're not going to be able to have 3 meals a day. I can't even afford to eat twice a day. So yeah, hello, welcome. This is another video where I want to find out if people are either like me, pretty much going to the same direction as me, or whether they've maybe done this throughout most of their life. I don't usually eat a lot anyway, right? I'm not a big person, but I do like food. And usually what happens is I'll start to get hungry at around about 12 o'clock. Then when it gets to about 2 o'clock, I'm absolutely ravenous, but I can't eat because it's literally choosing between having a meal at 2 p.m, heating my house, and having another meal for dinner. I can't do all of it. So I'm choosing to eat once a day in order to be able to heat my house so that my dog doesn't shiver, my 15-year-old dog that I feel has got brittle bloody bones because he's old and I don't want him shivering. So I will personally not eat until the end of the day. So it's now 4 o'clock, kind of the reason that spurred me to make this video. It's 4 o'clock, 4:01. I will usually start to make dinner around about 10 past, 20 past 4 to make it for around 5 p.m. All this time, I've been starving since getting up and working, right? But I'm not going to go and make a sandwich at 2 o'clock because I know that sandwich that I make at 2 o'clock could be used for the dinner that I have at 5 o'clock with some chips. So if I had that sandwich at 2 o'clock and then ate again at 6 p.m. and tried to have my heating on to heat my dog, not even me, I'm sat here, right, look, this is what happens on most of the videos, but you don't see. Hot water bottle. Because it's so cold in the UK right now, I don't know how people are surviving. I don't know how people are able to eat 3 meals a day, 2 meals a day. Put your hand up. Put it in the comments. Do you eat 1 meal a day to save on heat or electric or anything else that you have to pay for these days? It's getting absolutely ridiculous. Like, I understand the people that are like, yeah, well, you can survive off of food for 3 weeks. I get that, right? Which is why I even mentally tell myself when I'm hungry, you don't need it, mate. You don't need it. You've got food inside you that you can work off until the end of the day. So that mindset, which is not a great fucking mindset to have. I'm not telling anyone to have that. I'm just trying to tell you what's in my mind, right? That's what I go through. I say to myself, nah, you don't need it, mate. You don't need it. You ate yesterday. You got enough fat inside you to carry on. This is not healthy. This is not healthy. There must be other people out there, not just like me, that are also like, oh, I could probably skip that to be able to pay for my phone bill. You know, I said before in the previous videos, I haven't paid for my giffgaff phone bill in over 2 weeks. I've tried to cut down on as much as I possibly can because I know that the coldest months are coming up. February and March, especially March in the UK, is absolutely bitter. Really bad. And to make it even worse, I don't have like your normal gas central heating or, God forbid, better, oil. No, I don't have that. I live in a new build, right, where they've had to put in one of these air source heat pumps. And I do this because it don't fucking work. So what I have outside in the garden is this like thing, right, that's got like a fan on it. The outside air is meant to be cleaner and more, you know, energy efficient, blah, 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 blah. But the outside air gets heated and pushed into my house as heating, okay? Now, what happens when it's so cold out there that air can't even match any heat in here? Because that is what happens. That is what I've witnessed and experienced over 3 years. I've lived in a house with central heating with gas, and I've lived in a house with oil. I prefer oil, personally, but obviously I didn't have a choice when I moved into here. I was in a bad situation and I needed to get out quickly. So I took the first house that was available. this. And it's a beautiful house. I'm not complaining about the house, don't get me wrong. I'm complaining about the energy system and the fact that I now have to spend more to heat my house in order to feel somewhat warm, but also then be like, well, I can't afford to eat. I can't afford to pay my phone bill. I can't afford for the petrol. The sacrifices that we have had to make over the last couple of years has blown my mind. Don't even get me started on like free energy. Don't even get me started on that. Electricity is the biggest fucking scam going anyway. Let's look back at Tesla. Let's look back at what he wanted to do. Let's look back at what he actually found out how to do. And then what happened? Let's get conspiratorial just for a second. When he died, the government went in and took all of his papers and everything that he actually knew and everything that he had invented, including free energy. But no, they can't give that to the peasants. You must pay for the energy still, so rip. You're not having that patent. We'll learn it. We'll learn it. And we'll have free energy. But you have to pay. So now, in this day and age, people are having to choose between food, bills, heating, like, you name it, right? You name it. Everything has gone up. Everything. Rent. Don't even get me started on rent. I want to bring out another video on rent because I've been watching some videos. I've been watching the rent prices in Canada, Australia, America, New York. It's about 2,000 plus for a tiny ass little 1-bedroom apartment that you can't even swing a cat in. Don't even get me started on that. So if you're interested in a rant about that, make sure you hit the subscribe button. But I just needed to come out here and be like, right, is there anybody else that's sacrificing their heating or anything else just to make sure that they can eat once or twice a day? What are we doing? What are we doing in life? What are we doing? How is this living? How is this an exciting time to be alive? I just don't even know how people are genuinely surviving. The people that have got children as well, like I'm single, right? I only have my dog to look after. God forbid if I had another human being to make sure that they are alive. Because I'm barely making sure that I'm alive at this point. But you know what? Sometimes it's like, does it matter? But yes, it does. So we have to persist and we have to find ways around this because there ain't no way I want to go through this for the rest of my life, right? There ain't no way. So we need to change it. We need to change this shit up, whether that's finding a side hustle, whether that's selling things on the side, whether that's starting a YouTube channel, right? I have a video that I put out months ago when I started this channel about Gen Z and millennials getting on YouTube because YouTube's pushing out the algorithm. Hello? I came back 2 weeks ago and they are pushing my videos out. There's no reason why you guys can't get on YouTube right now and start making some extra monetization money once you get monetized because we need some help over here. We need some help. So I really do hope that there is a change in the mentality of, right, what can we do now this year to change it? Because I genuinely believe that we do now need to have these side things. You can't just work a 9 to 5. You probably can't even work 2 9 to 5s. The state of the world is disgusting. I don't know how in the world people are genuinely living also, you know, there's no snacks in between. I'm not talking about having a snack or even a banana. Or, I don't even fruit anyway, but I'm not having a banana or anything during the day because every time I think about something that I could eat during the day when I'm starving, literally at 2 o'clock, I'm ravenous, my stomach's like, and I'm like, oh, I'm so hungry. But I don't want to eat anything because anything that I eat at that time could be used for later on for dinner. Do you know what I mean? Is there anybody else that has this mentality? Because it ain't a great mentality to have, guys. Like, we shouldn't be, you know, making our health decline because of this. We really shouldn't. So, something needs to change. We all need to eat out here, and we all need to survive with the weather. because I'm not even in a harsh area like Wales or Scotland. I have a Scottish friend who lives on like an island in Scotland that's like away from everything. She shows me the weather that she gets, and it is unbearable, like I would say. Wales as well. All of those, you know, places in England, I'm not really that bad. But those places, God forbid, the elderly as well, don't even get me started. Don't even get me started. How are people living? Do you have your heating on? Do you eat 3 meals a day? What are you doing to be able to survive right now in 2025?